I left my country in 2012 and I came here one day before my birthday.
How does it feel to cross the border is something that I can't describe. You feel nothing.
This is a high school specific for English language learners. So the idea is to support language development through all the content areas. Our mission is to serve recent immigrants. We connect students with legal services. We offer mental health services, internships, and we do job skills like resumes and mock interviews and that type of thing. A lot of our students come into the school having never been in school or have huge gaps in their education, and so that makes it very challenging for them.
They wanted to kill my brother because he didn't want it. We against her, so that's why we started having more problems. We couldn't even go out because of that.
One of my friends, he told me, hey Mario, I know the gangs will kill you, but I cannot tell you why. But they're thinking that you know something that they don't want you to know.
They started saying bad things to my brother, that they could kill me if he wasn't going to be with them.
So then is when my dad talked to me like, hey, we're gonna send money and we're gonna bring you here because you are not safe in El Salvador. Forget about school, forget about your friends, forget about everyone that you know, because everything's gonna change.
I only had the option to make a risk and pass through different borders or stay there and get killed.
It's very challenging. A lot of our students have refugee or asylum status, and a lot of them have suffered very traumatic experiences in their lives. When we have a student that's struggling with mental health issues or, having residue trauma, it's going to be very hard for them to make school a priority and to make learning a priority.
I was 4 years old when my dad came to the US. When I was 5 years old, my mom moved. I started not feeling anything because my mom and my dad was not there. I started closing my heart and I was closing my feelings. I started not trusting anyone.
It took me 1 month to come here. I stayed on Guatemala for 1 week, 2 weeks in Mexico, and 1 week inside of the United States.
During that time, crossing the borders and being in the US, it took me like 2 months just to see my family.
I feel it's really hard to explain it because it was too much feelings at the same time. But the first thing I did was just hug her and cry because it was the best feelings that I ever felt in my life, see her for the first time.
And I came to the US at the age of 13. My expectation was to just work. And my dad changed mine. He told me like, hey, you're not gonna work. What are you gonna do? Study. You're gonna go to school. You're gonna learn everything they're gonna teach you. That was something that made me really angry because I was one of those kids. I was doing bad grade, doing a lot of stuff, like getting drugs, drinking alcohol. just to cover that hole that was inside. Like, hey, my mom was not there when I needed them the most. I was just completely lost.
Last week, we did an agree-disagree activity around different ethical issues. The death penalty was one of them. I had brought up, I said that they were so passionate about it and they wanted to argue it the entire period. So I told them that I would take a class and let them actually have a debate. Who's speaking first? Okay, Vanessa.
We are against this penalty because many innocent people were killed. Also, there was a lot of discrimination, and we are creating more violence.
I get one for the death penalty.
So I have a graph here, and it's a graph of a survey, and the question is, are you in favor of the death penalty for a person convicted of murder? And this graph shows that the majority of the people are supporting the
Okay.
death penalty.
Okay. So you have 5 minutes to work on your rebuttals. You really want to use as much evidence as possible. 5 minutes. Because states can say, states can abolish.
So it's like they just don't care about the fairness.
I don't know. Kill. To kill. So I would say. Alright, rebuttal on this side.
If there is someone who kills someone, why should we keep them in jail and not give them death penalty?
Alright.
In 2008, a study in Maryland by Urban Institute concluded that because of appeals, it cost almost $2 million more for Maryland to put someone to death than it costs to keep them in prison.
I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3
They were killing people because they wanted. So that's African American were slaves in
All right. Here we go. Closing statements.
So we all agree that the death penalty is wrong because it does not base it on evidence. We realize that this penalty does not stop crime, and 141 countries stop this penalty, and disproportionately against the poor people.
I decided to throw drugs and all those kind of things. Here's when I stopped teaching myself and let someone else teach me. In Oakland High School, I get to the conclusion that my major or college was going to be psychology. I was really motivated to help other students with their emotions and their feelings so they can do good at school.
I always remember everything bad that happened, but I always try to understand that it's something that is going to benefit me. I have more opportunities here. I really want to have a career. It's my last year, I'm senior. I'm thinking about studying nursing. I like to be around people who is not feeling well. I like to make them feel better. I keep thinking about it and I think I will start studying it.